Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new documentary short film, Charmin Wipes Out a Forest. And this is a surprisingly comedic, in-depth expose of the massive deforestation required to deliver the nation's most popular bath tissue brand. And this film is such an unexpected little film because it starts off, this is a documentary short film, and you're sitting there and you feel like you're in a commercial, and it takes a very comedic approach to it, a very sarcastic approach to it, and how it kind of like runs down Procter & Gamble and Charmin in its own commercial in this very satirical, very comedic kind of way, and really sets the stage. And they reutilize this motif, this idea of these fake commercials throughout to deliver some good humor. And I think there's some fun visuals and animations and stuff like that throughout the rest of the film to bring some personality and some energy to this documentary that generally, when you take a step back and think about, it's about deforestation, it's about toilet paper, might not be the most exciting of films to take a step back and watch. So I appreciated their approach to making this more engaging and more fun and giving that energy. This film's about 25 minutes and does pack a lot in, giving you a lot of perspective on what deforestation is, what that definition is, how a company like Procter & Gamble have been getting around this, and what's the challenge of, hey, treating trees like crop farms instead of creating actual ecosystems. And I appreciate the perspective that this film was able to give, and giving some context, and talking about the alternatives that a company like this can have. And you see over time, from when they started doing this to, generations later of the descendants of these founders of this company, what their perspective is and what they should be doing. You see how over time, consumer perspectives like millennials and Gen Z and Gen Alpha, and how things have changed in perspective. And you see clips of, more baby boomer type, show hosts and stuff, talking about, why can't people just like what we liked and always have to be so critical about it? And that disconnect, and I think this film does a fine job of capturing that disconnect between generations and why there's a shifting perspective and call for some changes like this. Now, this is not the most, that's certainly very much here's an informative look at what this thing is. You don't get this emotional connection or anything like that. It's very informative, but it's also funny and brings that energy, but doesn't skimp on the importance and the significance of what this film is about and what it's trying to fight for. So at the end of the day, I think this is a fun, engaging little film that does a lot of things right in terms of grabbing the audience to make sure that they're attentive to look at this very informative and very significant subject matter about what deforestation to create toilet paper is doing, and even having some cheeky little references to sequels, But what about paper towels, Mom? So all of those kinds of things, and just giving that context, I think this is a very effective 25-minute film that hooks you, grabs you, and gives you a lot of information to walk away with. But those are my thoughts on Charmin Wipes Out a Forest. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.